Prevent outgoing traffic unless OpenVPN connection is active using Pf.Conf on Mac OS X. I've been able to deny all connections to external networks unless my OpenVPN connection is active using Pf.Conf. However, I lose Wi-Fi connectivity if the connection is broken by closing and opening the laptop lid or toggling Wi-Fi off and on again. I'm on Mac OS 10.8.1. I connect to the web via Wi-Fi from varying locations, including public Wi-Fi. The OpenVPN connection is set up with viscosity. I have the following packet filter rules set up in /etc/pf.conf. I start the packet filter service with sudo pfctl and load the new rules with sudo pfctl f/etc/pf.conf. I have also edited .apple.pfctl.placed and changed the line F to read EF so that the packet filter launches at system startup. This all seems to work great at first. Applications can only connect to the web if the OpenVPN connection is active, so I'm never leaking data over an insecure connection. But if I close and reopen my laptop lid or turn Wi-Fi off and on again, the Wi-Fi connection is lost, and I see an exclamation mark in the Wi-Fi icon in the status bar. Clicking the Wi-Fi icon shows an alert, no internet connection message. To regain the connection, I have to disconnect and reconnect Wi-Fi, sometimes 5 or 6 times, before the alert, no internet connection message disappears and I'm able to open the VPN connection again. Other times, the Wi-Fi alert disappears of its own accord, the exclamation mark clears, and I'm able to connect again. Either way, it can take 5 minutes or more to get a connection again, which can be frustrating. Removing the line block all resolves the problem, but allows insecure connections, so it seems there's a service I'm blocking that Apple requires in order to regain and confirm a Wi-Fi connection. I have tried enabling ICMP by adding pass on $Wi-Fi proto ICMP all to Pf.Conf. Enabling DNS resolution by adding pass on $Wi-Fi proto UDP from $Wi-Fi to any port 53. Trying to learn more by logging block packets by changing block all to block log all, but logging seems to be disabled under OS X because doing sudo tpdump netti flock 0 to see the log results in tpdump flock 0, no such device exists. None of this helps re-establish a Wi-Fi connection any faster. What else can I do to determine what service needs to be available to regain Wi-Fi connectivity, or what rule should I add to Pf.Conf to make Wi-Fi reconnections more reliable?
By monitoring network connections using Little Snitch, I've found that Apple uses the MNSResponder app in the background to check if the Wi-Fi connection is available. MNSResponder sends UDP packets to name servers to check connectivity and resolve host names to IPs. Changing the UDP rule I had previously to allow all UDP packets over Wi-Fi allows MNSResponder to connect, which means Wi-Fi now reconnects first time after a disconnection. In case it helps others in future, my final Pf.Conf including Apple's default rules for Mountain Lion looks like this. This means that data can now be leaked over Wi-Fi by the small number of applications that use the UDP protocol, unfortunately, such as NTPD, for time synchronization, and MNSResponder. But this still seems better than allowing data to travel unprotected over TCP, which is what the majority of applications use. If anyone has any suggestions to improve on this setup, comments or further answers are welcome.
This gave me sufficient background info to make the big leap and use Pf.Conf. Here's what I use on my 10.8 to make it reconnect after the VPN connection drops. I only use Ethernet, but you can change $LAN for $Wi-Fi and it should work.
You don't need to allow all up. The M in MDNS means multicast, and it uses a specific multicast destination IP address called the link local multicast address, and a UP port number 5353. This means in your solution above, you are unnecessarily allowing traffic to all 65,535 UP ports to all 3.7 billion routable IP addresses in the world to bypass your VPN. You'd be surprised how many applications use UP, so you are significantly defeating the purpose of your original idea to prevent outgoing traffic when the VPN is down. Why not use this rule instead? Pass on $Wi-Fi Protocol up to 224.0.0.251 port 5353. A very important rule of thumb with firewall configuration: when making exceptions through your firewall, always try to use the most specific rule possible. The specificity sometimes comes at the expense of convenience and ease of use, i.e. you might then find there's some other link local protocol that needs to be let through, and add yet another specific rule. If you swap in the above rule and find that the original Wi-Fi problem returns, then your PF may be blocking DHCP, the protocol used to auto-configure your network device's IP addresses. In a home network, typically your broadband router would be your DHCP server. The rule you'd need to allow DHCP would be: pass on $Wi-Fi Protocol from 0.0.0.0 port 68 to 255.255.255.255 port 67. Asterisk note: you may need to substitute 0.0.0.0 for any. The DH-pressed packet your computer first sends has a source address 0.0.0.0 because at that stage, your computer doesn't have an IP address yet. To be honest, I would lean more towards using any. Another option is to rip out any source specification, i.e. pass on $Wi-Fi Protocol up to 255.255.255.255 port 67, but that means we lose the source port part of the rule, and being as specific as possible is always the most secure option. Hope that helps. Here are some useful links. MDNS, this URL. DHCP, this URL.
As addition, you might want to add this line. To allow for MDNS to operate on IPv6.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.